You open up to the world. And I showed you the picture on WhatsApp of Miss Switzerland. Was just walking around London and said, hey, excuse me 2 seconds. Boom. If you do this 5 times over the next 4 weeks, you're gonna get at least 1 or 2 and your mind will be blown. No man, good job. In 2 weeks, that's an amazing progress, man. Yeah, why do you think I have the job that I have? The feeling of being able to walk up to a table with 2 or 3 different girls, start a conversation, get the Instagram, go back to your friends. They look at you like you're some guru or something. Like, what the f did you just do there, right? It's a high. It's a natural high. You're like, whoa, because you get the dopamine, you get the testosterone. Adder Huberman says, reward preceded by effort boosts testosterone. It's an earned high with no crash. There's no crash from it. The only crash we get is when she texts us in the message request and we don't check it and we're like, che cazzo? You know what happened to me, exactly. Right? I was walking through London with a client of mine that I told you, right? The other client. And I was obviously doing some approaches that went very well. And then Fernanda gets a message a week later. Some girl texts her and says, I saw your man on a date with another girl in London. Be careful. And Fernanda goes, okay. The women that you'll meet in private members clubs are most likely never going to be your wives. But one thing that you should do is you should get a membership in a gym that costs like $30 a month. And once a month, twice a month. Because I know, not even to work out, but you're going to meet normal women there. Normal girls with normal jobs, 30, 40, 50 euros a month. Even 150. You're currently paying 600 or 700 a month for your gym. You'll never meet normal women there, right? Even 150 pounds a month is already going to eliminate a lot. Get a membership in a gym in London that costs like 30 or 40 or maximum 50 pounds a month. You're going to see normal women that are still educated, but that don't have a sponsor, that don't have a sugar daddy. I think that's definitely going to be a viable strategy. Also because it's not going to be your main gym, you can easily do approaches and nobody will care. She will show you either the princess or the wild and adventurous one within her. And it just makes the conversation so much more memorable. I had a call with a client in Ireland here this morning. And he was talking about this idea. He goes, before I program, I didn't have that many options. Now I have a lot of really, really, really quality options. I almost have too many options. I said, well, now what you got to do is you just got to shift. You got to put your intention on, okay, I want one quality person. Now that doesn't mean that I'm going to become needy or that I'm going to commit too quickly or that I'm going to become very serious or overinvest, none of that bullshit. But it's just more almost an energetic shift where we say, okay, this is what I want. I'm allowing it to land. I'm allowing myself to receive. I'm allowing it to come. Literally making that internal shift is at the base of it. Wayne Dyer, one of the biggest personal development teachers, he talked about that many years ago. The power of intention. Oh, this is what I want. Then you realize, okay, she's not right for me, she's not right for me, she's not right for me. And then you realize, oh, this is great. Now, that doesn't mean we can't go on dates with them and have a mutually beneficial short-term encounter. That's perfectly fine. But you realize, oh, this is what I'm really going for. Oh, maybe this more innocent type of energy. Not so... You know how some women, they just give themselves energetically to any guy who walks by? Not everybody wants a girl who's introverted. Somebody wants somebody who's extroverted. But you'll start realizing, oh, this is what I want for the long term. This type of loyalty. A complete lack of dependence on external validation. The only validation she wants is yours. These types of things you'll start noticing, but you'll only start noticing when you put your RAS, your reticular activation system, your selective focus on that. You're like, oh, this is what I want. Super loyal, super loving, super obsessed with me, super appreciative, super warm, an emotional home that's stable, that's loving, low in eroticism. And then you'll start noticing it, but only once you put your intention on it. Does that make sense? So he did the program 2 years ago, actually, okay? And that happened after like 2 months already. But then the problem with him was he started really enjoying it. So he was like, I don't even want to. He came to me because he wanted a relationship. Then he started going like 3-4 quality dates a week. His mind was blown. And now this morning he tells me, David, I was fucking awesome, but I feel like I almost have too many options, not enough time. What do I do? Why do you think I have the job that I have? Fernanda has a master's degree from one of the best universities in Brazil. But when she came to Dublin, she didn't have a lot of money at all. She was working 29 days a month. She had 1 day off a month when she was working. She would have never been able to afford a gym that's $150 a month, right? But there's a lot of quality women that you might find in 150 euros a month gym, or every now and then in your 600 pounds a month gym. But in these 30 to 50 pounds a month gym, women with like normal jobs, but great values. Now, she's going to the gym already. Great, that's good. Now you want to obviously pre-select, or rather qualify for the other variables that are important to you. But you'll eventually realize, when I was in London, I saw this. These members clubs are awesome and they're fun and they're great. 30% of the people are probably minimum 15 to 20% probably. The women included, drunk as hell. Now, some of them are private equity lawyers, awesome. Some of them are whatever, BCG consultants. Some of them are whatever. You can find some awesome people, but rarely. What you really want is a normal woman with extraordinary values and extraordinary personality and amazing looks. But normal. You get what I'm saying? Here's one thing, if you do this just for steps, because going from 4,500 steps, what most people do on average, to 10,000 steps, decrease in all-cause mortality by 50%. It's one of the best things you can do for your health, for weight loss. Here's what you do. You get a standing desk, you get one of those walking treadmills. Out of a 10-hour working day, I guarantee you for a fact, 2 of those you can walk. No problem. You just put that thing underneath. Trust me, order that shit up from Amazon, put that under your thing. You will easily do 10, 15, 20,000 steps. You're gonna lose weight, you'll get energy, you'll get all the steps in. Fantastic. Let me just address the time constraint, because your job does require you to work a lot, obviously. Saturdays and Sundays, right? Saturdays and Sundays, London. Monday to Friday, you don't have to do anything. Go out Friday night. The weekend is where you get it done, right? The weekend is where you get the approach done, where you walk around, you enjoy it, be it in a shopping mall. I'll send you all those places, right? There's other client of mine in London. I'm going to get us to send the recommendations of where exactly in London, but on the weekends. Andrew Huberman just recommends to never take ashwagandha for more than 2 weeks straight. But if you take ashwagandha once or twice a week, no problem at all. It really reduces cortisol. Okay. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure on the science, but I just don't take it more than 2 weeks in a row. But if you take it once or twice or even 3 times a week, it's fine. But here's the question. Have you done the hot bath or hot shower before going to bed? I love working with high performers like you, but all of you struggle with sleep. So it's in Module 8. Module 8 is all about energy and confidence. And then I have a subsection in Module 8. It's very short videos, but it's like, if you follow this, you will sleep unbelievably well. But like the epigenin, the L-theanine, the magnesium bisglycinate works really well. But this one is going to be another game changer. So basically what you do is you have a really hot bath before going to bed. Not so hot that you burn yourself, obviously, but still hot. So hot that you can just like, oh wow, this is hot and I'm starting to sweat. Then you do 10 to 15 minutes. Now, don't pass out, safety first, okay? Don't push yourself to the point of exhaustion where you pass out. But you want to be sweating where you're like, this is hot. 10 or 15 minutes. Then what you do is, before you go in, you have towels prepared on your bed, because you're going to lie down on your bed and you're going to sweat. And the lights have to be dim, low lights down in the last 1 or 2 hours before going to bed, because light inhibits melatonin release. Melatonin naturally produced by the brain. But then you have the towels on your bed, and then you go into the bath, and then you listen to something relaxing, right? You listen to whatever, just something that doesn't trigger you, or just meditate, 10, 15 minutes, and then you lie down. You will sleep so well. It's either sauna or hot bath, because here's what happens. For the body to fall asleep, core body temperature has to drop by around 2 degrees. So what happens is, when we heat our body up, it then starts cooling itself down and it knocks us the out. So what you do is you take the magnesium bisglycinate, the L-theanine and the epigenin, then you go into the bath, then you lie down, and then you'll sleep like you'll sleep so well. Have you been to Dubai? Do you know Blah Blah? So it's like a famous club there. Anyway, the problem is there's like a junction that's always full of traffic jam. So there's a traffic jam. We're in the taxi. We see 2 really hot women walking by. We jump out of the taxi. We're like, wait. We jump over this barrier, run after them. We're like, hey, we're super nice. We introduce ourselves. They're like, guys, this is awesome. Thank you for coming and saying hi. But you see these 2 men 30 meters ahead. Those are our husbands. We're like, oh shit, no worries. Have a good night. We run back into the taxi. We're hyped. The taxi driver is hyped. Then we get to the Blah Blah and we're already in momentum. We got amazing approaches done, right? And we've done this in Dublin. No, you can't just lower the window. That's weird and creepy, because Don't lower the window, don't shout from the window. But what you just gotta do is you just pull over real quick, hazard lights on, lock the car so nobody steals it, lock the car, run over, do the approach, be like, hey, I just parked over there, I saw you, I probably would have regretted it for like 2 minutes if I didn't come and say hi. Trust me, you will get a high from that, whether you get the Instagram or not, that you can't otherwise get. If you do this, again, don't think of this as once, because this will happen to you over and over again. If you do this 5 times, over the next 4 weeks, you're gonna get at least 1 or 2 and your mind will be blown. And remember, like I did my first meditation when I was 7 years of age. I started going to personal development seminars when I was 15 or 16, you know? So I've been in this a long time. This is an accumulation of the structuring and the filming took a long time, but then accumulating all this experiences, practicing it all myself. This is all tried and tested stuff. Every single one of those strategies, the one for the sleep, the one for the dates, the one for the online dating, the one for the approach, all of that I've tested and tried myself. And there's so much stuff that we cut because it's not necessary to make it as concise as possible. If I were to boil down personal development to the number one most important thing, it's 150 minutes of REM sleep per night. Basically it says sleep. Because everything depends on sleep. Now, all the other stuff also matters, but everything depends on sleep. And it's not just quality, but it's also quantity. So the magnesium, the L-theanine, the apigenin. The science is very clear that most people ideally need 8 hours. So I think you can function on it. So there's different strokes for different folks. You can be okay with 6.5 if you go into REM a lot. But there's 2 things that I would do. I would, one, what can you do to catch up on the weekend? That's one. Really big one. If you allow yourself on the weekend, each Saturday and Sunday, to do an hour-and-a-half nap each day, that is going to be massive for your productivity. Okay. So even if you have a week where you just sleep 6 hours, Monday to Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, okay, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to sleep by 7 or 8, and then I'll do an additional hour-and-a-half nap on a Saturday and a Sunday, that will boost your happiness. Okay. It'll lower your stress levels and it'll boost your productivity the next week. So that's important, but then also the quality, right? So what you want is your room needs to be ideally pitch black dark and cold. And then you haven't gotten to the meditation part yet. There's a guided meditation. You do that, like I would maybe on Friday or Saturday when you have a bit more time, or Sunday, right? Do it Sunday, one of these days. You do the whole protocol. You take the magnesium, the L-theanine, the apigenin, you do the bath, but before you do the bath, you do the meditation. There's a guided meditation in there linked by Jack Kornfield. He's one of the best meditation teachers in the whole world. I've meditated with him and a group of other people in San Francisco in the Spirit Rock Meditation Center. My father has been meditating to Jack Kornfield for 20 years, right? So this guy's amazing. When it comes to meditation, he's got I'm not sure if a master's or a PhD in psychology, very smart person, super loving. Do this guided meditation. If you're asking me for the number one hack in the entire world to reduce stress, peace, and improve sleep, it's guided meditations by Jack Kornfield. Nothing comes close. Nothing. Now again, sometimes we're not going to be able to, and that's fine, right? It's called life. But even just, here's the key, by putting your intention on, I will try to sleep 8. I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't. But if you can try to get it to 8, and then either Saturday or Sunday, ideally both, you allow yourself an hour to an hour-and-a-half nap. Even if you're not sleeping, even if you're just lying and you're meditating, that will give you so much regeneration. It'll boost your productivity, and then you'll get energy to go out and do approaches. You'll feel regenerated. And what you will sense after an hour-and-a-half nap, you know that it's like, oh, I'm so happy. You know this deep happiness that we sometimes miss? Because we get into worker mode, we gotta be productive, we gotta get shit done. And then when we actually sleep, like, oh, I'm so deeply happy. What am I missing? Oh, bit of fucking sleep. So this one is amazing. I have no affiliations with them. But if you look at how much EPA and DHA is in there, it needs to be a lot more, right? I think it should be like 1,000, DPA like 1,000 or something. So you need between 25 to 50 milligrams of zinc per day. It's not medical advice, blah, blah, disclaimer, right? But 2 of the most important supplements, vitamin D and zinc, right? 25 to 50 milligrams of zinc. Zinc is super powerful, protects the lung, it protects the immune system, and it boosts testosterone. Absolutely will change his life, 100%. It's because, especially, right, people like you, we see our friends and they waste their potential so much. And then you see somebody like him pissing down his potential. You know what he could do. You know what he could achieve in a city, the kind of woman he could be with.